Arsenal Football Club. Ah, yes, a name that once echoed with invincibility. Think about it, the invincible season of 2003 to 2004, unbeaten, majestic. Thierry Henry scoring goals that defied physics, Dennis Bergkamp with a touch like an angel. They were a footballing dream, a beautiful red and white machine that conquered England. They won league titles, they won FA Cups. Arsene Wenger, their professorial manager, was hailed as a genius, a revolutionary who changed the English game with new diets and tactics. It was a golden era, a time when Arsenal fans walked with a swagger, knowing their team was a true powerhouse, respected and feared across Europe. But then, something shifted, subtly at first, then more obviously. The big trophies, the Premier League, the Champions League, they started to feel distant, like that one sock that always disappears in the laundry, gone forever. Years turned into a decade, then nearly two. There were near misses, of course, so many near misses. They'd lead the league, only to stumble at the final hurdles. They'd reach cup finals, only to find new and inventive ways to not quite win them against the biggest opponents. It became a pattern, a very, very frustrating pattern for anyone with a cannon on their chest. Now, let's be clear, they still win things. FA Cups, Community Shields. Nice shiny things to put in the trophy cabinet, absolutely. But the big ones, the ones that define eras, the ones that make legends, those seem to be tantalizingly out of reach. It's like being invited to a feast, but only being allowed to eat the breadsticks. Good breadsticks, sure, but you're watching everyone else tuck into the main course. It's a peculiar kind of torment, isn't it, to be so good, yet not quite good enough when it truly, truly matters most on the grandest stages. So you have to ask yourself, is this just bad luck? Is it poor management at crucial times? Is it simply the natural ebb and flow of footballing dynasties? Or, and this is where it gets interesting, folks, is there something else at play? Something hidden, something orchestrated, a reason why this club, with its history, its resources, and its passionate fan base, just can't seem to reclaim that top spot. A reason that goes beyond the pitch, beyond the training ground, and into the shadowy corridors of football power. It's a thought, isn't it? A rather unsettling one. Let's imagine, just for a moment, a smoke-filled room, not literally perhaps, but you get the picture. Back around the time Arsenal were planning their big move to the Emirates Stadium. A state-of-the-art ground, a symbol of ambition, or was it, what if, and I'm just spitballing here, what if the price of that shiny new stadium, the price of financial security in a rapidly changing football landscape, was more than just money? What if a secret pact was made? Let's call it the North London Accord. A gentleman's agreement, if you will, between Arsenal's hierarchy and certain powerful unnamed figures in European football. The terms of this supposed accord would be simple yet devastating for the fans. Arsenal would be allowed to remain competitive, to challenge, to entertain. Oh yes, they'd always be good for a thrilling 3-2 win or a spectacular collapse. They'd provide drama, they'd sell tickets and TV subscriptions, but, and this is the kicker, they would not be allowed to win the Premier League or the Champions League for a specified lengthy period, perhaps 20 years, perhaps more, a cooling off period, if you like, after their early Wenger-era dominance, to maintain competitive balance, or so the justification might go. Who would make such a deal, you ask? And why? Think about the ecosystem of European football. Powerful clubs, influential broadcasters, governing bodies, all with a vested interest in a league that remains unpredictable, at least on the surface. If one or two teams dominate too much, like Arsenal threatened to, it can become stale. Viewership might dip. The golden goose might lay fewer golden eggs, so a quiet agreement to ensure Arsenal remain a strong supporting actor, but never the lead in the biggest dramas, might perversely benefit a wider network of interests. It's a chilling thought. The motive for Arsenal? Perhaps it was presented as a Hobson's choice. Secure your financial future, build your magnificent stadium, but accept these limitations. Or risk being left behind entirely in the new footballing arms race. It's the kind of deal whispered about in hushed tones, never written down, sealed with a nod and a handshake. A deal designed to keep Arsenal in the conversation, near the top, but always just shy of the ultimate glory. To be the perennial, almost team, ensuring the narrative remains engaging for everyone else. Now you might say, John, this is preposterous, where's the evidence? And you'd be right to be skeptical, but let's look at the patterns, the curious coincidences, the things that make you go, Consider the timing. The move to the Emirates Stadium in 2006. A magnificent arena, yes, but it also marked the beginning of the serious Premier League title drought. The Invincibles were a Highbury phenomenon. The Emirates? It has seen great football, but not a league trophy. Coincidence? Or the physical manifestation of this supposed North London accord kicking in? Then there are the player sales. Key players, often at the peak of their careers, sold to direct rivals. Robin van Persie to Manchester United, who then promptly won the league. Cesc Fabregas back to Barcelona, then Chelsea, winning titles with both. Samir Nasri to Manchester City. Were these purely financial decisions, or were they strategic moves, perhaps gently encouraged by unseen forces to ensure Arsenal never quite had the complete title-winning squad? It's like building a beautiful jigsaw puzzle only to find the crucial final pieces are always mysteriously unavailable or sold to someone else. And what about those moments on the pitch, the inexplicable refereeing decisions in crucial matches, the moments where luck just seemed to abandon them in the most spectacular fashion? Were these all just human error, or the cruel randomness of sport? Or could they be subtle nudges, tiny interventions to ensure the accord was upheld? Think about the sheer number of times Arsenal have been in a commanding position in the league only to suffer a late-season collapse. Data would show an uncanny consistency in these fades, almost as if there's a script they're unknowingly or knowingly following. Consider the famous fourth-place trophy era under Wenger. For years, qualifying for the Champions League was celebrated almost like a win. Was this a lowering of expectations by design? A way to manage the narrative within the confines of the accord? The club always remained profitable, always in Europe's elite competition, mostly, thus fulfilling their role as a major player, but never quite the ultimate victor. The pieces, when you look at them this way, start to form a rather unsettling picture of controlled destiny, a performance carefully managed from behind the curtain. So what does this all mean for the poor, long-suffering Arsenal fan? It means living in a perpetual state of hope, immediately followed by that familiar, crushing disappointment. Every new season brings fresh optimism. This is our year, they cry. New signings, a good pre-season, a strong start, and then, inevitably, the wheels wobble. The key player gets injured at the worst possible time. The crucial decision goes against them. The title challenge fades. It's a cruel cycle, a footballing Groundhog Day, and if this North London accord were real, it would explain so much of that gut-wrenching predictability. This fictional conspiracy, if true, would cast a long, dark shadow over every near miss, every what-if moment. It would mean that the banter era, the memes, the jokes about Arsenal bottling it weren't just organic occurrences. They were, in a way, preordained by this secret pact. The club's identity in the modern era would have been shaped, not just by its own choices, but by the limitations imposed upon it. It's a truly depressing thought for supporters who pour their hearts, souls, and hard-earned money into following their team, believing in the purity of the contest. The wider football world in this scenario would be an unwitting, or perhaps in some corners, a witting beneficiary. Other clubs rise, legends are made, dynasties are built, all while Arsenal plays its designated role. The talented, often thrilling, but ultimately non-threatening contender. The beauty of the Premier League, its supposed unpredictability, could in part be a carefully constructed illusion with certain outcomes, subtly managed to maintain maximum commercial appeal and a distributed sense of success, preventing any single entity from becoming too powerful for too long. Ultimately, if such a pact existed, the biggest question would be, when does it end? Is there an expiry date on this North London accord, or are Arsenal doomed to play this role indefinitely? It adds another layer of anxiety to every campaign. Is this the year the curse is broken, or is it just another act in a long-running, pre-scripted drama? For the fans, it would mean their emotional investment is tied to a game whose biggest outcomes might already be decided in rooms they'll never see, by forces they'll never know. And that, folks, is a truly unsettling prospect for the beautiful